Hey everyone, and welcome back to another explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we are looking at something that literally affects every single one of us every single day. We're talking about the absolute fundamental building blocks of why people do what they do, and how we can actually understand those actions a whole lot better. Okay, let's dive into this and really unlock the mechanics of human behavior.
It's the ultimate question, isn't it? What actually drives human behavior? When you look at your colleagues, your friends, or hey, even yourself, what's that invisible engine pushing us to act, to strive, or sometimes to just stubbornly resist? Today, we're framing this as the universal puzzle we're going to solve together. And the beautiful thing here? We don't need some rigid, crazy, complex roadmap to get there. We just need to grasp a few core principles that totally dictate human drive. So, part one, what truly motivates us? Which brings us to part two, breaking down the RICE framework. This is essentially the lever we use to move the world. Now, what's really interesting about this framework is how it categorizes everything into just 4 letters. R for rewards, I for ideology, C for coercion, and E for ego. Honestly, pretty much every action someone takes can generally be traced back to one of these 4 levers. So let's break them down individually to really see how they tick. First up, the R stands for rewards. This is the promise of gaining something positive, right? Like a huge year-end bonus at work, or honestly, even just a free cup of coffee for helping your buddy move a couch. It's incredibly effective because it appeals directly to our most basic, foundational desire for benefit and gain. Then we've got the I, which stands for ideology. Now, this operates on a completely different level than just a simple reward. When you tap into ideology, you're tapping right into a person's core values. This is exactly what drives someone to, say, volunteer their entire weekend for a charity, or even take a pay cut to work at a green energy startup. It's a hugely potent motivator because it's fueled by internal conviction, not just some external prize. Next is C for coercion. And you'll notice the tone shifts a bit here, because coercion is a vastly different, forceful type of motivator. It's definitely not about offering a perk or appealing to higher values. It is the blunt instrument of motivation. Think of a boss threatening to fire you if a deadline isn't met. It's simply about applying pressure or outright force to compel an action. Finally, we finish the acronym with E for ego. Appealing to how someone wants to be viewed by others? Wow, it is an incredibly powerful psychological lever. Sometimes just offering someone a really prestigious-sounding job title, even without a pay raise, is enough to make their motivation just absolutely skyrocket. When an action aligns with elevating or protecting their ego, man, people will literally move mountains. Moving right along to part 3, the coercion trap. So the crucial point is this right here. This is the golden rule directly from the source material. Work on a person's ideology, ego, and rewards before going into coercion mode. Look, trying to force an outcome without first trying to align with someone's beliefs, appealing to their ego, or just offering a tangible benefit, it's a total recipe for disaster. Coercion has got to be your absolute last resort. Now for part 4, perception versus perspective. We're moving from the levers of motivation to the lens of our own minds. Let's define perception first. Perception is often completely disconnected from reality. It's this mental state that is highly colored by your emotions and feelings. When you're operating purely on perception, you're just reacting to how you feel about a situation, right? You're letting your own internal biases paint the picture instead of actually seeing what's really there. It's reactive, it's emotional, and honestly, it's pretty dangerous if you leave it unchecked. On the exact opposite end of the spectrum, we have perspective. Perspective is taking a calm, rational, objective look at something with very little bias. It's the measured counterbalance to all that emotional chaos of perception. It requires you to consciously step back, completely remove your feelings from the equation, and assess the situation purely on the facts. And this brilliantly illustrates the real battleground going on in our heads. You've got the emotional chaos of perception on one side versus the clear, unbiased clarity of perspective on the other. Truly understanding the massive gap between these two mental states is the absolute key to unlocking everything we've talked about today. Which leads us to our final section, part 5, finding your rational mind. Let's see how this all builds up to the big aha moment. If you approach someone using only your emotionally driven perception, you're going to misread them, and you are for sure going to pull the wrong RICE lever. But by forcing yourself into an objective perspective, you actually become rational enough to accurately assess whether they need a reward, an appeal to their ideology, a stroke of ego, or, lastly, coercion. Clarifying your perspective basically makes you critical of your own perception, helping you become way more rational and a lot less judgmental.
So I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative question. As you go out there and try to motivate the people around you, are you leading with clear, objective perspective, or are you trapped in your own emotionally colored perception? Mastering that internal balance is the true secret to mastering the levers of human behavior. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this breakdown has given you a powerful new tool for your daily life. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll see you next time.